Hey guys, Alegre-Wood here, author of the 3+1 plan and chairman of YPC Group, where we help you to build a thriving property portfolio so you can live the lifestyle you've always dreamed of, but in such a way that you're not creating a second job or actually working yourself into an early grave. So what I wanted to do today was we've been running the webinars now for a while, and we've compiled hundreds of questions that you guys have been asking. So I want to take those, and what I've done is I've broken them down into a number of really key questions that most of you guys are repeatedly asking. And what I've done is I want to present them to you so you get that level of education. I've always been a massive supporter of free education. And so that's what I want to do for you guys today, is really give you, I guess, what most people out there are concerned about in the market now, about property investment, about strategies, about structures, about all sorts of things, the questions that you guys have been asking. So, it's not now me telling you what you should be thinking, it's you guys actually feeding back. And I love that about the social media, and I love that about webinars. So yeah, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Well, I'm gonna have to talk about one of my most disliked subjects, which is being a landlord. I can't stress enough that what you really want to be is an investor. And an investor puts an amount of money in and expects a return from their investments. But the fact is when you're investing in property, you do have responsibilities as a landlord. And so one of the questions that comes up quite regularly, is one about insurances, and what insurances do you need, and what do I recommend, and all this sort of stuff. Now, the first thing I'm going to say before I get into this is this, okay? Are these comments up to date? This is now June 2011. So if you're watching this anytime after June 2011, I would make sure you check, either give us a call or check with someone who knows about insurances and what the requirements of a buy-to-let are, because the laws may change, the requirements may change, the regulations may change. So if you're watching this and thinking what I'm saying is absolutely correct, and you're in 2017, things may have changed dramatically, all right? So that's the first thing, be aware of that. And in fact, that's with anything, that when people are giving you advice, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching somewhere else, check out the date of the video, because if it's not recent and they're talking about facts and figures. We once had Christy and Phil doing a location, and it was quite interesting because they were talking about this hotspot, okay? And they were talking about this being a hotspot. The next day we had a few phone calls saying, "You got any property there?" And I'm like, hold on a sec, that's overdeveloped, I would never buy there. What are you talking about? Turns out that the actual show they recorded was back in 2002. And it's interesting because if you look on it now, they actually put the date on there. Anyway, let's get to the real question at hand. So first of all, buildings insurance. Now, if you're buying a house where you own the freehold, okay, you're gonna have to look after the buildings insurance, okay? And in some cases, even leasehold houses, you're gonna be looking after the buildings insurance. So you're gonna have to arrange that, and you're gonna have to, it's a requirement of your mortgage if you're getting one, but also, it makes good sense to have one, because if that place burns down or something happens, falls down, then it's covered, all right? So this one, buildings insurance, you definitely need that. Now, if you're buying a leasehold, where you've got flats or something, then the managing agent will look after that, and of course you'll have to pay for that, but effectively, or your share of it at least. So, in a home, you're gonna have to look after it. In flats, generally the managing agent will, and you won't have to arrange that. Talking about contents insurance. Now, realistically, if the contents, you have what's called an AST, an assured short hold tenancy agreement. Now, under the terms of that, what that will say is that the people are responsible for, anything in that inventory. So if they sign out a couch and some knives and forks and things like that, they're responsible for that, excluding fair wear and tear, all right? So if it burns down, they should have to pay, and all these sort of things, okay? So realistically, contents insurance, for the most part, most of our clients don't need contents insurance. Now, if you're ultra, emotional and you're concerned about that, by all means get some. But make sure with any of these insurance policies, they cover a buy-to-let. Just getting a normal home contents insurance doesn't work. When you go to make the claim, they'll take it, but when you go to make the claim, they'll say, hold on a sec, you weren't living in the property, you're not covered, all right? So make sure it covers buy-to-let, that's the important bit. Now, for the most part, you're probably gonna have, if it's not furnished, a fridge, which is normally integrated fridge freezer, built into, so it's very unlikely, okay, that that's gonna be stolen. You've got washer dryers, and most of the stuff, hob, stove, these things are actually built in. So it's unlikely they're gonna be taken. And when you look at the cost of the insurance, sometimes it's not even worth bothering about. So for most of our clients, well and truly over 95%, they don't look at getting this contents insurance. They rely on the AST and the deposit that the clients put down. Now, tenant insurance, and what I'm talking about is, rent sure, or these insurances which basically say if the tenant doesn't pay the rent, if the tenant damages, if the tenant needs to be taken to court, all these sort of things, it will cover you for. Now, these have become very popular, but you've got to read the fine print, because I'll give you an example. In fact, a lot of these things, they don't kick in until after 30 days. So if your tenant's late, you don't get paid. If your tenant runs off and it's only a month they owe you, then actually they won't cover you. So what it means is they've got quite a decent balance there, all right? And you'll find that if you do want that first month covered, well, then you're going to pay for it, and it can become quite cost prohibitive. I was looking at a few different properties because we were thinking about selling this, and what I found was it was somewhere between 10 and 20 pounds per property per month, which, when you add that up over a portfolio, that's a huge amount of money. And the decision that I made was not to take that insurance, to take the risk, and that's all it is. I'm taking the risk upon myself, but that £20 that I would have put per property, I started putting into a bank account, built up a big amount of money, and in the end, I didn't use it, and I haven't had to use it, because when you look at the statistics, and the statistics are something around 3% of properties are problem properties, okay? Around less than 1%, okay, that's 1 in every 100, it's more like 3 in every 1,000 are what we call tenants from hell, okay? Around 3% are problem, they don't pay on time, they run off without paying the last month's rent or doing things like this. But normally they get looked after in due course, okay? So your tenant insurance. Now, one of the questions that comes up quite regularly is, hold on, they're going into this, should I get public liability insurance? Because if they fall over and hurt themselves while they're in the house, okay, should I be covering that? And the answer is you don't need to, because as long as they've got an AST, they are taking responsibility upon themselves, okay? So they're taking responsibility for that. Now, this is a really important bit, okay? Because if they, as tenants, under the Assured Short-Hold Tenancy Agreement, they call you up, or they call your agent up, even more importantly, and say, the door's hanging off its hinges, and then you don't do anything about it, and it falls on them, then you can be liable, okay? Or if you look after and you manage it well, and the door's hanging off its hinges, you get a person out there to fix it, and they fix it, fantastic, okay? If you've got your gas safety certificates, then you don't have any problems, all these sort of things. If you've got good management in there, okay? And unfortunately, in this marketplace, there's good agents and there's bad agents. Unfortunately, there's a lot more down the bad end than the good end, all right? So you've got to take responsibility for that, because when it comes to it, the actual letting agent isn't accepting any responsibility for those properties. They're doing the work, they're not accepting responsibility. You, as an investor, are still 100% responsible for what goes on in your flat, okay? So it's really important you understand that, because that could mean anything. If they say there's, the boilers seems to be leaking, and you don't send someone out straight away, okay? You wait, and then there's a fire, and someone gets burnt, or they get damaged, or they whatever, then you can be held culpable, all right? And that's not something you want to address. So just be aware of that. Now, if you've got good management, fantastic, okay? So they're really the main things you have to consider when you're talking about insurance, okay? So guys, I'm sure you found that information really valuable. The first step really now is that you need to get a plan. You need to actually, work out exactly how you're going to put this in place. So what I encourage you to do is come in and sit down with us, talk to us, grab a coffee with us. And what we can do is we can actually start mapping out what your plan is. Guys, I'm looking forward to meeting you real soon at either one of our webinars or perhaps a seminar, or if you come to one of our offices around the world. Have a great day, and remember, live with passion.